Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Joe Daddy's Garage. It is Monday, November 17th, 2025, which means Thanksgiving is right around the corner. Woohoo! Can't wait for that. Uh, Thanksgiving is probably my favorite holiday of the year. You know, turkey and mashed potatoes and pies and all the dressing and everything that goes with Thanksgiving. And I like to eat. So I'm looking forward to that coming up very soon. But something else I'm looking forward to is the end of this week. And the reason for that is I plan to take the Cobra Jet back to its owner. So I've been talking about this. I've been trying to get stuff organized. I'm trying to go through any pieces and parts and leftover stuff that I have from that project. And I'm going to load everything up and take it down to Florida. And so what that means is I'm going to be moving on to other things, of course, continuing on with the 68 Fastback, as you see behind me. I hope you've been watching those videos. This is turning out really nice. Very excited about the progress on this car, but that will be, a continuation of the stuff in the garage, right? And I also plan to go pick up that 63 Falcon at some point over the next couple of weeks. It might be after Thanksgiving because I don't want to interfere with where it's at, and maybe they have stuff going on, and you know how it is. You have holidays, and you're not always available, so I'm not going to impose on them just to get the car out of there and out, back over here. So that is on the agenda. And I must say, I don't know what's going on. I've talked about these camera stuff before, and it almost feels like this thing is zoomed in on me further. I've had to scoot back on my stool here because I've used this camera many times, and normally, if I try to bump this up just a hair, normally you can see the top of the garage, the wall back there, and it just feels like, I don't know, it feels like it's zoomed in closer. So I've had to slide back. I'm probably back probably 8 inches or so from where I normally am, which would be way up here. And it's like, nope, that doesn't look right. So anyway, I hope you all have been watching the videos and trying to keep up with everything that's going on. I know I mentioned that I had gone to SEMA, had a great time there, and I had made some video footage while I was there. Unfortunately, I think one of the cameras didn't work the way I had planned for it to work, but thankfully I have the other camera that I used to make some good videos. So I need to edit that stuff down. That'll probably be put out towards the end of this week. That's the plan anyway. And of course, that'll take care of what's going on with this week. So other than going through pieces and parts and organizing, I have to go pick up the enclosed trailer from a buddy of mine, get it over here, and get the car loaded up, pieces loaded up, get everything ready to go, and make this trip happen. So I'm not sure exactly where the car is going to end up. I know that I've talked with the owner, and she's trying to find somebody to take it on and finish it. And I don't know where we're at with that just yet. Regardless, it's going to be heading down the road here at the end of the week. So anyway, that's kind of where we're at with the shop at this point. I also have a video that I want to tell you about. I always get offers, and I tell people all the time I get offers for tools and equipment. I get crazy stuff like bird feeders. People want to send me bird feeders or lights for your house or different things like that. And most of the time, I just ignore all of those. I don't even try to consider the idea. But when I get offered machines or tools, then I'm more interested. So I think I may have mentioned this last week. A company has sent me one of those, as they call it, laser welders. Now, I need to do a video on that. But before I do that, I have to learn about this product. You've probably seen little videos on Instagram or different places where they can weld with this thing. They can weld underwater with it. They can do all kinds of stuff with it. And I want to see if it'll work. Like, you're supposed to be able to remove rust stuff like that. So it's going to take a little bit because it's not like a typical MIG welder where I just pull it out of the box, put some wire in it, hook up the cable and the lead, and start welding. This thing seems a little more complicated, so I'm going to have to learn how it works and also how to put it together and all that sort of thing. So that's also on the agenda to get stuff moving around the shop. So anyway, that's where we're at. Let's see who's here tonight. And the first one in is Rick Stevenson. Good evening. Looking forward to a great live stream tonight. Yes, glad you're here, Rick. And when Rick's here, I get my coffee. So that's a good start. TJ, good evening, everyone from East Dublin, Georgia, home of the Mustangs Field of Dreams. Appreciate you, Barry, for your dedication, helping us out here on YouTube. You are welcome. And I get that a lot. I do get that a lot, and I do appreciate it. And I try to put out as much information as I can. Along that line, I don't watch videos. I don't have time. And most of the stuff that I'm doing, I already know what I'm doing with these items. But there's been a young man who's popped up on my feed, and he's putting together a 68. I believe it's a 68 fastback, 67 or 68. And I know he's had some help from like Mr. Gone in 60 Seconds, and I've gotten some information from them. And I've responded a few times on his videos because I'm like, that's not how you do it. And I hate to see things done poorly or the wrong way. So when I make my videos, my point of it and the style of it is to show you how and why I do the things the way that I do. Now, I'm not faulting this young man for building the car, but it seems like he didn't have a good guide or somebody to learn from. And I kind of wish he would have found my videos before he started putting that car together, because it's got problems. And it is what it is at this point, but I feel bad for what he has going on. Terry Keithley, good evening, everyone. And Barry, please hit the thumbs up and like button. Thank you kindly, Terry, Betty, and the cats. And go Buckeyes. I'll go with that. Rick Gain, cold, dreary November day in New Jersey. Let's have some good car talk and try not to think about the fact that there's another 4 more days until Friday. Everybody hit the thumbs up button. Yes. Now, I was going to point that out. The weather here currently is 54 degrees, and it's been really nice here. I mean, we're in the season of 50s and mid to low 70s during the day, so very nice weather. Vincent Fitante, evening all. I hope I say that right. Frigid, New Hampshire. Best thing about Monday is hanging out in Joe Daddy's Garage talking shop. Awesome. Glad you're here, Vincent. Clark Clifford, I'm actually early. Well, you are here in time to cut the turkey. Steve Reed, hello, Barry and everyone. Hope everyone's doing great. And give Barry a thumbs up for the progress he's making on the 68 fastback. Yes, thank you, Steve. It's coming along very nicely. And the point of that is always, right? Test fit, test fit, test fit. Don't just jump in. And unfortunately, like I said, there's a young man who's doing this stuff, and he's just kind of jumping into it and going. And to me, it's not going as well as it could be for him. Nandu, good evening, Barry and everyone. Hope you all had a great weekend. Thank you, Nandu. Glad you're here. And it was a pretty good weekend. Mostly. Let me just tell you, our youngest son, who's getting married, has just bought a house. And so he asked me to come help him move on Saturday. So I did. And I was kind of shocked. Had my truck and trailer. And the apartment complex he lived in had a set of steps that went down, like there's probably 60 or 80 steps. And then you go into the apartment building and go up to the third floor, and that's where he lived. So I spent a lot of Saturday going up and down hundreds of steps. Not fun. Not fun. Ed Cucciarella, raining in Southern California. Well, that's probably a good thing, I assume. Jerry's Garage, the Money Pit. Good evening to all from Middle Tennessee. A very nice day, and looks like the same for the rest of the week. Well, glad you're here, Jerry, and I hope you're doing well. Robert in front of Craftsman, evening all. Almost 90 degrees again today. That's too hot. That is too hot for November. Mid-November, that's too hot. Dave Tyson, good evening all. Evening, Dave. Troy Justit, good evening from coastal Georgia, where the weather is perfect for working with garage door open. Let's get our chat on. Yes. Yeah, I had the garage door open today, and I was I'm so picky on my end product that I'm going over the Cobra Jet one more time, looking for any little defect or flaw in the paint, little dust nib, sand it out, rebuff it, looks great. So it was nice to have the doors open for that. Rusty, hello all in Barry. Rusty's Restoration, sorry. Hello all in Barry. Hope all is going good with getting the Cobra Jet ready for delivery. Thumbs up. Yes, it is going well. Travis Holtman, good evening all. One of my top 5 patrons. Glad you're here, Travis. Jerry, howdy Barry, howdy y'all. Though it got up to 90 today, Robert and I still had a nice evening sitting outside until the start of the stream. Have a great car chat and go Buckeyes. Glad you're here, Jerry. Gig'em Garage, Kevin Barth. Good evening, Barry. Good evening, Kevin. And Jeff is checking in, Norris Net. Hello, Jeff. Hope all is going well with your fastback project. I know I keep seeing updates on that. Annette Scott. Hello, everyone. Hello, Annette. Welcome. I know I've been seeing your comments on Facebook. I appreciate that. Richard Vogel. Good evening, Barry. I'm looking forward to this evening's show. Well, thank you, Richard. David, bowler hat guy. Hello, all. Good evening, Barry. Good evening, David. Welcome. Annette Scott. I like Falcons. I'm looking forward to watching you do your thing. Well, thank you for that. And, that was something I had a conversation today about this Falcon. And I don't know if what my approach is going to be directly on this, because I'm not going to restore it. It is not going to be a shiny, fancy car. Nope. It is already cut up. It is going to look like a stock car that's being driven on the road, and I'm excited about that. And the reason for that, I don't know if you remember years ago, I had my 55 Chevy, which was a rat rod. So this car is going to probably fall into that rat rod type of style. And it's not going to be stock. I'll just say that right up front. Nothing is going to be stock. I am going to piece this car together from whatever I have in the garage. Okay? For the most part. And I was trying to I was talking to somebody today about this. I was trying to come up with an end goal, right? So I know that there's times where people will build a project and they say, I'm going to take this on a hot rod power tour, or I'm going to take this and do something, right? Or there's going to be an event or a car show or something somewhere. And I haven't found out just yet if there's anything that would make me want to take it to one of those. I'm just kind of looking around and seeing what's out there. The Hot Rod Power Tour has not been announced yet, so I don't know what the schedule is for that, where they're going to be. But it's something that I'm considering, because the car, like I said, is not going to be restored. It's not going to be a shiny paint job. It's going to be left pretty much the way it is, and I'm going to go from there. And the idea is I don't need to have a show car. I don't want something super shiny and fancy. I had Jade, the '68 Mustang, and I like that car a lot. But I really was hesitant to drive it because who knew what was going to hit it on the road or in a parking lot. And the Falcon is going to kind of be the opposite. It's going to be a fun car to drive, and we're going to see what comes out of it. So I'm looking forward to putting something together with this car. So yeah. Roger, Hindsight 67. Greetings from next door. Hey, Raj. Betty Keithley is checking in. Good evening, Barry. Have a great show. Go Buckeyes. Prayers for everyone. Thank you, Betty. Rick Ain, I'm sure nobody cares. Just for informational purposes, I don't have any ice cream cones for tonight. I'll make it through somehow, though. Oh, okay. Sorry, Rick. maybe just eat the ice cream right out of the container. Or are you talking about ice cream sandwiches or something like that? Or pre-made ice cream cones? Steve's Money Pit. I'm here while waiting on breakfast. Well, I'm glad you're here, Steve. Rick, I bought a $15 miniature toolbox from Harbor Freight. It will look good on my nightstand and keep me from having the important things fall on the floor. And it's purple, so it looks pretty cool. Okay. Interesting. Robert, the laser welders are good for thin steel, but from watching others, there is a learning curve as it feeds itself versus you dragging a torch. I want one too. Yeah, I'm going to find out. It's going to be interesting. Like I know the company wants me to just jump right into it and just make a video, but it's a different animal, right? It's a different tool. So I have to get myself ahead of the curve and learn how it operates before I make a fool of myself and make their product look dumb. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm going to find out. Annette says, I saw one on a SEMA video. It was fantastic. I immediately thought of you. I wondered if you had one. Okay. Yeah, I just got it. Like this past, I don't know what it was, Thursday or Friday. It showed up. So yeah. Rick, I sent you a YouTube video, a guy who normally works on Mopars moving a 6-cylinder from us. Yeah, I watched that video, Rick. That was a nice car. Dave Britton. Hello, Dave. I don't know if you were here last week or not. Glad you're here. Annette says, I saw it demonstrated on thin and thick steel. It was pretty good. Yeah, the videos they post on Instagram and stuff like that seems pretty amazing. So we're going to find out. I just don't, like I said, I don't want to get in a hurry and muddle my way through it. You know, most stuff, like if I've got a MIG welder, somebody has, given me one or whatever, I can figure that out pretty quick, even without a manual. I've done it enough. I know how these things operate. But, this one, even looking through the instructions, I'm like, oh, this is a little bit more complicated than anything else that I've messed with. Steve's Money Pit, 50s to 70s is perfect. Thumbs up for that. Yeah, the weather, yes. Steve Reed, been watching some of the other YouTubers. They've gotten a Mustang to build, and some of them have mentioned you and watching to see how to do things on the car. Okay, that's cool. That's great. I need more people watching. And that was a funny thing when you talk about that. Like this young man had done a video on putting the tail panel on the car. And he's cutting chunks of metal out and he's doing all these things. And it's just, I'm like, no, don't do that. And, I get it. He's a younger guy. He appeals to a younger audience. I fully get it. But his video putting that tail panel on has like 18,000 views. And my video putting a tail panel in, let's say the right way, only has 1,100 views. I'm like, why? Why is it like that? I mean, I'm not some young guy that's talking to the camera and I'm just like, here, this is how you do it. Doesn't get the views. This is how you do it wrong. That gets the views. Dave Britton, now that your son has moved, your calves of steel will get a bit mushy. Yeah, exactly. The funny part was, not only was he in a house or in an apartment that had like 80 steps down and whatever, 60 up, but where he moved to, his house has a driveway that has an angle about like that. And so just going up that driveway was also a challenge. Steve's Money Pit, Robert and I were discussing yesterday that we have same weather now. Oh, okay. Yeah, but you're in the Philippines. That's different. Rick, if you want to be unique, I will come down and paint the Falcon for you. that would be interesting, Rick. That would be. Dave Brittenberry, you need to butcher the cool into the Falcon. Yeah. It's going to be interesting. I've got to come up with. I'm already envisioning like fender openings. If and you probably many of you may not have seen my '55 Chevy, but the '55 Chevy had that same flat kind of opening that the Falcon had, and this one's already cut out, so it's already modified to look different. But the 55 Chevy, I used 65 Mustang wheel arches to make the wheel opening on the back quarters. And I'm like, I've got some old skins and stuff laying around that I'm not using. I'm wondering if I can't take those and make the wheel arch for the Falcon. I mean, it's possible. I don't know how much space I'm going to have. Oh, and the other thing, although this thing came with some Barrett steel wheels, I don't know that I'm going to use those. I might put the wheels on off of Jade. Why not? I've got so many pieces and parts around here. Engines, wheels, drive shafts, differential housings. I probably need some headers. I don't have any headers, but there's so many things laying around that I can just kind of make this thing come together. It'll be interesting. Let's see. Rick says 20 years ago when the engine went in, I lost the fan shroud. Just found it now to put the fan out on cool and flush at the same time. Okay. Robert, there's a lot to be said for a car you can drive and enjoy versus one you're worried about. That is 100% true. Oh, wait a minute. Let me go back to this. Rick, you were saying you had lost the shroud, just found it. Okay. I think what you were trying to put on there is now I have to pull the fan out. Pull the fan out, cool and flush at the same time. So you're going to change coolant and flush the coolant out, I guess, what you were saying there. Rich Watley, how's it going, everyone? Hit a thumbs up. Thank you, Rich. Julian P. Good evening, Julian. Welcome. Rick Gain, in the Mustang groups I moderate on Facebook, I always point towards Joe Daddy's Garage videos when they ask a question about bodywork or any restoration aspect for that matter. And I do appreciate that, Rick. I see that many times that you get posted on there, and I do appreciate that. Travis, I don't watch his videos anymore. I know who you were talking about. Yeah. I get it. He's a young guy. He's got an appeal from a younger audience. And, it's great to see them getting involved, but I just wish they had more background to help them, understand what they're doing. Norris Net, I just ordered a TIG welder. We will see if I can figure it out, but I do like my MIG. Okay. Steve's Money Pit. They had a really nice one at SEMA, but it ran between 18 to 38,000 laser welder. I didn't see that one, and that's not what I have. I don't have nothing that pricey. That's for sure. Annette, can you talk about AOD conversion for 68 Mustang? It will be a daily driver with tons of highway driving, and I have a lead foot. Sorry. AOD conversion is pretty simple in these old Mustangs. Now, I have a friend of mine who does transmissions, and so he suggested getting an AOD out of a um, early 90s, like Ford truck. He said that's the only, they're not that expensive. And as far as the conversion, I think the only thing you need, which I haven't done this yet, I think there's something with a kickdown cable, I think, or because the older ones they have a kickdown cable, and the later ones were electric. So that's why he's saying get one from an earlier truck, because it's more mechanical versus something that has to have a module or something to control it. So I think I haven't researched that very far. Normally when I do something like that, I just ask him and he provides me with the information and also provides me with any accessories that I may need, because I'm going to put an AOD in the Mach 1. I want to have that in there. So, but that's what he was saying. Use one of the older ones because it's mechanically, operated basically instead of some sort of module. So that's about as far as I can go with that. But it is a great thing to do. Great thing to do on these old Mustangs. Dave Britton, you'll start digging through your parts and find you have a couple cars you not realize you had if assembled. Yeah. Yeah, that's probably pretty accurate. I do have a lot of, I have a shed outside that is literally packed to the door. It is completely full. And some of it is the 68 Camaro parts. Some of it is leftover Jade parts. Some of it is 69 parts. Some of it is 67 to 72 Chevy truck parts. I know there's Camaro seats in there. There's big speaker boxes in there. The old speaker box things. There's a set of I think there's a set of gauges in there for the 68 Camaro too. There's all kinds of stuff in that one little storage building, but it is full to the door. So there's lots of stuff. Richard, what is the name of the laser welder? I'd like to research it. Hold on just a second. I'm going to get the instruction manual. I'll have to show you what that is in a minute. This is the, what does it say here? X1 Pro. X1 Pro is what it says on the manual, and it also says photonics. So, just let me look here a second. I know I had a X Laser Lab is the name of the company, X Laser Lab. So let me see if I have that. X. I'm going to type that in here. X. So I just posted it. X Laser Lab X1 is what it is. We'll find out. Steve Reed, I'd like to see it done the right way and not make a mess out of it. You do a super great job on showing how to do things. Big thumbs up to you. Thank you, Steve. Appreciate that. Yeah. So, Dave Britton, I got that. Your parts, I got it. I do have a pile. I have a pile of parts. Rick says yes. I have to open the cooling system in order to put the shroud on, so I may as well flush it as well. Yes, good idea. Michael Pagliarini, evening all, listening tonight, filling out my CCW renewal application. Government hoops, yay! Glad you're here, Michael. Richard, is your hand improving at all? That's a great question. I'm going to say no. I'll just be honest. No. And maybe it's something I'm doing because I don't stop, right? I don't. I have to keep moving. So right now, so I know it's hard to tell, but the middle finger, I'm not gonna put it up. The middle finger, it will not go straight unless I force it to go straight. And if I force it to go straight, it hurts. So right now, I've been popping Advil. The finger hurts, the joint hurts, the middle finger, the joint hurts in the middle. I'm having all kinds of weird pains coming down through my hand. Like, I don't know what's going on. It shouldn't be hurting down here, and it is. Um, Making the fist is hard. Still can't curl that finger in the way it's supposed to. It's very frustrating. I honestly, right now, I regret having that surgery. I probably should have never done that. But everything I had read or been told was, yeah, it'll be great. It'll all be fine. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah, maybe not. So the hand is not feeling good. Let's see. Rick Gain, the newer version of AOD is electronic. It's called an AODE. Okay, that's good news. Thank you for that information. And that there's a low car adapter cable linkage that you use with the AOD. So there you go. You're already ahead of the curve. But yeah, that's something that needs to be addressed with that. Rich Watley, my wife wanted some major construction done in the house. I stalled for as long as I could. Next week, I want to get back to my car. I can sleep in my car, but I can't race the house. Dave Britton's laughing at that. Denny Albee had a cousin who owned a paint store and had a 65 Chevelle. It looked like a stock car with the fender well cut out. Hood was cut with a double stack breather, and he delivered shop supplies. Yeah, I don't know that I'm going to go as far as cutting out the hood. I don't think I want to do that. If it was already cut, that'd be one thing. But I don't think as much as I want to, because I had this. Well, you said I had a '65 Chevelle that was a stock car, and the I have a little model of it here somewhere. Yeah. So I had this was my '65 Chevelle stock car, and it had the hood cut out. And I don't think I want to do that. I if it was already done, I wouldn't have a problem with it, but I think I have to keep that. Let's see. David, wow, that welder is not cheap. Yeah, I know. That's why I don't want to make it. I don't want to make a quick video and not be sure of what I'm talking about. I want to make sure that I've got the right information going when I make the video. Dave says, "Don't give up on stretching your finger to make it go where you want it to." Yeah, I know. It's been difficult. It really has. Um, I don't understand why it's not supposed to be right. Terry Keithley and AOD's 91 Merc or Crown Vic on AODs. Okay, yeah, 91 Mercury or Crown Vic. There you go. That's what, and my friend was saying, like the 92 and back, somewhere, I don't know how far back, Ford trucks. So that's good information. I'll keep an eye out for one of those. Ed, I have a 470W and a Ranchero. Yes, a controller is needed, but it has been great. You can control shift, speed, and feel. Okay. I mean, that's a nice transmission. I look at it as for me, affordability is probably the key for what I'm doing. So I'll have to keep my eye open for an AOD transmission. Dave Britton, I find it a bit sacrilegious to cut up the hood of a car. Yeah. I mean, it is. Yeah, especially when you can't find the hood for. Like if there was the hood on these Falcons is really cool. It has that little chrome insert in the front that looks like a hood, like a scoop sort of. And I don't want to lose that. I really like the way that looks. Richard Vogel, didn't Dr. Evil have a laser welder in Austin Powers? I might have. I don't know. I don't know when I could say I saw that movie last. And that sounds like some nerve damage in your hand. See a neurologist and do some physical therapy. Physical therapy works. Yes. Well, I'm going tomorrow to get looked at, like, post-op, whatever, um, and see what happens. See what happens. It's very frustrating though, because obviously I use my hands a lot, and I'm right-handed. So when you can't grip something or swing a hammer or whatever without it hurting, it's just no fun. Joseph Candela says, I'm starting to work on a 69 Mach 1 Q code that needs a lot of work. I watched many of your videos as well as those of others. What did you find the most difficult to do? That is a good question. That is a good question. Now, um, difficulty has a wide variety of angles, let's just say, right? For what I do, all the sheet metal work is relatively common to me. Like, it's stuff that I've been doing over and over and over. So it's not that difficult. Difficult to me is getting a really super nice paint job. So that's where my difficulty lies. Okay. Uh, as far as the work, the harder thing to do is, let me just say, the 69 that I did, the Cobra Jet, I salvaged a bunch of parts out of that car, right? Shock towers, part of the firewall, the rocker panels. So the difficulty in that process is saving those parts without damaging those parts. So I had to be very careful drilling out spot welds, separating metal to not damage those pieces. But normally, if I'm doing something that's not going to be a salvage piece, I don't have to be, I can be aggressive. I can just kind of cut through it with a plasma cutter and be done with it. So that's another thing, is how you approach the work you're doing. So sometimes you using a plasma cutter is the easy thing, but you may damage some parts you need later. Drilling out spot welds and using a splitting tool, that can be difficult. It can be a challenge because sometimes it's hard to get those welds to break loose, that sort of thing. And then past that, when you go back to the assembly side, and I stress it, everybody hears me say it multiple times: test fit, test fit, test fit. So whenever you're putting something together and you have these panels that are aftermarket, don't assume that you can just put this on and be done with it. There's a sequence to it, and there is a process. And so the difficulty with that is making those pieces all interact together. So when you find stuff like gaps that don't work out and you think, did I do something wrong? Well, 9 times out of 10, it's not what you did, it's the panel is not right. Either it's not made right, or it's not, the right dimension, or something is off. So at the end of the day, whenever you're building something, and I tell people this too, don't get so caught up in exact measurements. Now that you can do that. Exact measurements are great, but there were no exact measurements on these cars. And so when you're putting stuff together, it's more important that you get the outer pieces to fit as they should. And I usually adjust the inner pieces to make up for that. So let's just say, like the aprons up here, you put those aprons on and then you put the fender on and you're like, oh, this doesn't fit. Well, you put the fender on, both fenders, put the hood on, line everything up and look and see where the aprons interact. And you go, oh, the apron needs to move this way or that way. So when you fix all that, at the end of it all, when you're putting it all together for the last time, things line up. So I know this is kind of a broad answer, but it's not an easy question to answer with just saying it's this or it's that. So that's a good question, though. I do appreciate that. Robert, I'll look for a Falcon hood if I go to the swap meet December 5th, looking for a few Mustang parts while I'm there. Okay. I mean, I've got a good hood, but they are hard to come by. They really are. Rich, 407EW is a much better trans than AODE, just needs a trans controller. Yep. Yeah, I think the problem is in my case, I don't want to spend a lot of money on something, and I'm not sure what those cost right now. I have no idea. But if I could pick up, an AOD for a couple $100 and do my buddy rebuild it for me, then I'm okay with that. But I understand where you're coming from. They do have their advantages. Robert, I wish the 5-speed is more reliable as another gear on an auto would be nice. Yeah, that would be. Dave Britton, Barry, if it makes you more hopeful, I did a radial fracture on my middle finger and it made it stick up in a rude gesture, and I forced it over again to be normal, and now I can't even tell which one was hurt. Yeah. Well, I can stretch it, I can get it straight, but my gosh, does it hurt? I straighten this finger out. I'll sit there and watch TV and kind of force it to go into a straight position or match the other fingers. It hurts. I mean, it hurts to make it do that. Julian, put a paint stick in your palm of your hand from the heel of your hand to the tip of your finger rubber band around the knuckle. Yeah, that would work. But let me tell you, it would hurt. And the other thing too, whenever I do that and I stretch it out and I get it to go straight, it'll stay. It might stay straight. It might actually stay straight. But then I have to bend it, and it hurts. It hurts to bend it now. Like I can force it straight, and okay, that's great. And then it hurts. So yeah, I don't know what the options are. I've thought about could I just put it on a table and take a hatchet and lop it off. I'm just kidding. Not going to happen. Steve's Money Pit. Now you give me something to do. Looking at laser welders here to bring home. There you go. Annette, California Pony Cars has a classic Mustang AOD conversion kit for $730. TCI also has an AOD conversion kit. Okay. That doesn't sound too bad. Richard, it looks like the laser welder they sent you goes for around $3,000. Yeah. Yeah. Terry Keithley, just my opinion, anyone working on a Mustang would do well to pay. I do. And the problem is I don't get the flow. Like, because I'm not popular, right? I'm not maybe I don't fit the mold for these young guys that are coming up and saying, "Oh, hey, here's what I did today," and whatever, all the stuff they do. Then I don't get the traction. I don't get the traction they do. They're appealing because they're young and they're talking to the cameras and whatever. And I'm just a grumpy old man here. Dave says it put tears in my eyes doing it, so I know what you mean. Yeah, it's not easy. Julian, there is an all Ford swap in Columbus, Ohio, the holiday weekend. Large swap, 2 or 3 buildings. Oh, wow, okay, that sounds like a fun event. Richard, there must be a lot of scar tissue in your hand, plus the nerve damage that Annette talked about. Yeah, it's very possible. I don't know. I mean, it might take months for it to get semi-normal again. I don't know, but it is just not fun. It is not fun. Jerry says kids and meh. Okay. Annette, I saw the SEMA 18 to 38,000 welder someone's talking about. That thing was futuristic. I was in awe. Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to send me one of those. I don't think so. Terry Keithley, I have an extra AOD. Should be checked out. $150. Okay. Well, you can bring it down. I'll I'll pay you cash. Rick Stevenson, I hope to be able to go to the Turkey Rod Run in Daytona Thanksgiving weekend. Okay, that would be fun. I'll be at home. We'll be having our typical Thanksgiving meal with our family and kids. So, Vincent says you need a sexy sidekick that will increase your views. But I have Iron Man. Iron Man. Come on. He's in all my videos. Nobody pays attention. You got to find Iron Man in my videos. That's as far as I get. Yeah. Dave says, what? Iron Man is not sexy? Yeah. Oh, so I got to show you something. When I picked up parts for the Falcon, I had the opportunity to buy a belt sander. There was a belt sander that was like sitting on the floor, hadn't been used in years, and they asked me if I wanted it. I made them an offer on it. They took it, so I picked it up. I'm not going to carry it over here. I'm not going to. It's a heavy thing, but let me show you something. So this belt sander, it was made by Wilton. Okay, it was made by Wilton, and currently they have on Amazon a jet sander, the 1x42 belt sander, model J4002 is what it is. Okay, and that belt sander is the same as the Wilton. So it's like Jet bought the design and put their name on it, right? So I got this thing and I realized it's missing the cover. There's supposed to be a big cover on the side of it that keeps you from getting the belt flying around and or stuff getting caught up in it. And so my sheet metal skills are coming into play. First of all, I made a template out of a oil filter box, right? So this is the shape of the cover. And I thought, all I have to do is make this in metal. And so what I did, and I know you all get a kick out of this because I do this stuff. This is, I had I don't know if you remember, they put quarter skins on the my 69 Mach 1, right? They had this generic, cheap, I wouldn't use those on anything. This is one of the quarter skins from the 69. So I traced this thing out, and I made it a quarter inch bigger all the way around, because on that belt sander, this cover piece, is supposed to have a flange that overlaps the perimeter of it. So I'm just going to make one, because that's what I do. I'm going to take the metal one and dolly it over and create a 90-degree flange and put a couple holes in it where it screws on, and I'll have my cover. So, I don't mind cutting up this piece of scrap. It's scrap to me. That quarter panel they had put on the my Mach 1, they were screwed on, and they were terrible. And I just cut them up, make my own. That's the nice thing about keeping. That's why I keep scrap metal around. So in case I need to make something, I can do it. Terry Keithley, you supply coffee and gobs, and it's a deal. Yeah, we could do that. We could do that, Terry. Annette, I love your show. It's so helpful. Thank you. Well, thank you, Annette. I appreciate that. Amir, what's up, Barry? What's up, Amir? Hello, my friend. Glad you're here. Haven't seen you in a while. Robert, I have the same sander, Delta branded, very good sander and heavy. Yeah, that thing it's a heavy sander. And I have a smaller one too. You can't tell I'm probably going to sell it though. It's on the other side of the shop. It's a Dremel. It's a much smaller belt sander. And I think I'll be selling that to a buddy of mine. Steve's Money Pit, Barry, relax. You're my favorite grumpy old man despite lack of Mopars. One of these days, maybe. Robert, make up that cover and use a laser welder to weld it. I could do that, but I probably won't. I'll just hammer and dolly it. I'll just form it. Just make it what I want it and be close enough. I just need something to cover up that belt side and not have anything get in the way or hit it. Yes, that was CAD. Correct, Roger. Cardboard aided design. Yes. Bob Shoemaker, I saw Iron Man jump off the rear quarter in a tail panel video. Yeah, he probably did. I know I was abusing the hammer and dolly, and he was probably bouncing off the quarter panel on the way. He doesn't hold on very well. Dave Britton, okay, there is a question. If you were to ever want a Mopar, what would it be? That's a good question. That is a good question. Now, I must say that I have a soft spot for 67 Plymouth Belvedere or Satellite or GTX. It's all the same thing. But I had one when I was in the military. When I joined the Army, let's put it this way: I joined the Army. I came home on leave, and I bought a 67 Plymouth Belvedere, and I had that car a very short period of time, and I got multiple speeding tickets in it, and so I sold it. So I have, I just have an affection for that car. I like it. It's a box. It really is. It's just a big box. But I like the car. I just like the way it looks. I like the 4 headlights. And it seems like I like almost more cars that have 4 headlights for some reason. Like the 69 Mustang, the old 66 Fairlanes, top and bottom headlights, right? The Buick Riviera I had 4 headlights. And I don't know, I kind of like that. Like my GMC, it's got 4 headlights. So I kind of like the 4 headlights. But I like the Belvedere, Plymouth, the Satellite, whatever, more than I like, say, a Coronet. I don't get as much out of the Coronet. The quarters are bulging out and look wide, so I don't really like that too much. I also have an affection for the 72 Satellite, like Sebring, or I guess they were Chargers or something too. That my brother had one as a stock car, and so I've always liked that car. Satellite Sebring Plus, I think, was the car that he had turned into a stock car. So I like those. And then this may sound crazy. I also had years ago at the junkyard, Dad had brought home I don't know what year it was, and I'm not even sure what model it was. If it was like a Dodge Monaco, that was like a 78, 79 Dodge Monaco 2-door hardtop. Big car. But it was so cool because it was just big. It had I think it had a 360 in it. But it was even though it was wrecked, it was hitting the front, it was still a nice car. Like it was a low mileage car. And I wanted to fix that car up and he wouldn't let me. So, there's variables to all this. Like, so Robert was talking or the Infernal Craftsman. For me, it's a 7071 Cuda convertible. I get that. They're cool looking cars. They're really, they're modeled right after the Camaro. So they follow that same body line style. And I do like them. I do like those cars. But I think for the Dodge products, I like something bigger. Like the Belvedere is a bigger car. Or even the, what was the other one? The Monaco. Oh, the Super Bee. I think Super Bees are cool. I just like the front end on that with the grill opening and stuff. So I like them. There's a lot of cars I do like. I've said it before. I'm a car guy. I'm not just a Mustang person. I do a lot, or I like all kinds of cars. But those are probably the Mopars that I would be more interested in if I were to stumble across one. Richard, do you have an engine and tranny in mind for the Falcon? I do, actually. And I'm not following the rules. I'm just telling you that right now. I am not following the rules. I am more than likely, because I don't have a good Ford engine anyway sitting around. I don't have anything sitting around. The idea is that I'm going to build this car with pieces and parts that I already have. For the most part. I'm not going to go out and buy a race engine, or I'm not going to do any of that. So I have 2 options currently sitting right here in my garage. I've got a Chevy 350 that I built for one of my tow vehicles when I was driving the stock car. So it's got an Edelbrock Performer RPM kit in it. I have that, and the car itself is coming with a rebuilt 2-speed power glide. So right there is an engine and transmission that would already work fine. I also have a TH350 sitting back here. It's on the floor. It needs rebuilt, but it is a transmission. And I have an LS. I have a 5.3 LS with 80,000 miles on it, and the 4L60 or whatever it is transmission is sitting there. So those are probably the options that I have available that I'm interested in. I'm not worried about it having a Ford engine. I'm not worried about it at all. To me it's a rat rod stock car type thing, and if I were driving a stock car, I would be driving a Chevy anyway. To be honest, they're easier to work on. You get more bang for your buck. So that's where I'm at. Good question. Jerry says, I wish we could get back to flip up headlights. Okay, yeah. Like the Corvette. A variety of cars had those. Rick Stevenson, I almost bought a 69 Roadrunner back when I was looking to buy my first car. This would have been around 1977. Yeah, 69 Roadrunner is a cool car. I'll give you that. I like those. Annette, I've been watching your old YouTube videos. I'm in the vintage Air one now. It's fun to watch. You figure things out when you hit a problem. Well, thank you, Annette. I will say that honestly, that's probably my strong point. Like, I don't know how to verbalize it. Like my son is a mechanical engineer, right? But if I put wrenches in his hand, it's not fun. It's not. He doesn't have that knowledge or that ability. And for me, I can, I can do all the wrenches and hand tools and all those sort of things. But I'm also, and I don't like to use the word. I don't consider myself an engineer from that aspect, but I'm probably a problem solver. So I can visualize really quick what needs to happen or what I feel like needs to happen to make something work. And it's just a natural thing that I've developed over time. And I don't feel like a lot of people have that. They get stuck in a rut or they start to think in one direction. And I tend to look at I think I tend to look at a problem from the end result. Like some people will try to find a way to get to the end, and I look at it from what it should look like at the end and work backwards, if that makes sense. So when I see something, I'm like, okay, I need this to be here. What do I need to do to make it be here when I'm done? And then kind of reverse engineering sort of thing. So, yeah, I would say that's probably one of my strong points in this industry that I'm in right now. Pony Corral, hello from Portland. I'm working on a 64 F100 short bed, then on to the 66 Mustang Fastback. Well, that's awesome. Both are good projects. I like them both. Robert DeQuino would like a Fiero with a supercharged 3.8. You know what? I know there's a Fiero with a Cadillac V8 in the back, North Star or whatever. I don't know what it is, but it's a Fiero with a V8 already in it. 88 GT. Yeah. Yeah. I know where there's one of them right now that I could probably get. Already built. Looks great. Dave Britton, 69 Dodge Dart, 340 4-speed car with a double bump hood, or a 440 6-pack Roadrunner with air grabber hood. Nice. I like those. I do like that old Dodge Dart. I do. Not the later ones, 73 or whatever it is when they got ugly. No. But the older ones, I do like those. Yeah. 440 6-pack Roadrunner. Yeah. They can't go wrong with that. Jerry says, yes, a Fiero. Yeah. Terry Keithley, somebody asked my wife Betty about her Dodge Swinger, 340 4-speed, blonde behind the wheel. Oh, that would be a cool car. Dave Britton, I find a lot of the cars I desire now are cars that fell through the cracks when we had the wrecking yard. Yeah. Yep. Steve, Barry, it wasn't the car that got the tickets. Yeah, I think it was. It was a maroon 67 Belvedere with a black vinyl top. It was the car. It was the car's fault. Renice Carroll, I'm guessing is how you say that. Welcome, Renice. I am in the Atlanta area. That's where I currently operate. Around south side of Atlanta. Robert, my uncle had a Super Bee and a Roadrunner. Then he got married, and they have been gone for many decades now. That's a sad story, Robert. I don't like that story. Dave Britton, a flat plane crank Coyote would sound amazing in it. Yeah, it would, but I'm not going to buy. I'm not going to buy one. I'm really not going to invest. Um, you know, I'm not going to go buy an engine. I'm not. I'm going to try to piece this together with just junk I have laying around, and I mean that 100%. I'm here. It's good to be back enjoying the 68 build series. Awesome. I'm glad. Happy to hear that. Jerry says, "Oh, Robert, we need to get the Fiero that Barry was talking about." Yeah, I'm sure it flies. Troy says, "Robert, I have an old Army buddy that put an LS in his Fiero. Put her in that." Yeah, yeah. Once the Buick is off the parking pad in the back, the El Camino will be getting attention. We'll be here getting attention. Okay. Michael LS, that's the way I would go. Yeah, I'm debating. I really am. I like the simplicity of the 350. I really do. Also, I should point out again one of these oddities. I still have the radiator out of my Chevelle stock car. That may be the radiator that goes in the Falcon. Why not? I don't need to factory correct nothing. Just build it. Maybe that's what I should label that one. Just build it, right? The Falcon. That'd be a good name for the build series. Just do it. Dave Britt, my 67 Belvedere was a wagon. Yeah, I know where there's a mint 67 wagon. And I mean mint. Guy lives down the road from us. He's got a 67 wagon and he's got a 67 Belvedere with a slant 6 in it. Don't see that every day. Robert, Jerry walked in and said we need to buy that Fiero. Okay. I can check. I can check on pricing. See what it's going for. Steve says Barry emailed one of my cars that doesn't need welding. Yeah, I'm looking. I don't see it. I don't see any. I don't see. Are you sure you sent it to me? Because I don't see it. You may have to try again. Dave Tyson, what about the boat motor? That boat motor is going to get sold. I have no interest in that thing. It may be appealing in some way, shape, or form, but I just don't want to. I just don't want to. I've thought about it, and it's one of those things where I would have to gain knowledge to use it or build it or whatever, and I just don't care. Like it's a boat motor, but I mean it can be something. It can be an impressive little engine, but I just don't. I don't have any interest in it. It just doesn't appeal to me. So I'm going to sell that thing and try to recoup some of the expense. Frank Roadrunner. Hi, all. Hi, Frank. Welcome to the show. Doyle got the final part hood of the Cutlass paint striped, worked, and an epoxy primer. Oh, paint stripped, I guess. Worked and an epoxy primer. It's nice to reach a milestone. It is definitely a nice to get to a milestone. Yes. Annette, I saw when you had to make a new transmission support, you thought about it and then talked your way through it. You designed it and you made it just like that. What a gift you have. Thank you, Annette. Yes, and that's, I mean, I guess it's part of the background of growing up in my dad's junkyard. Because we would just fabricate stuff. If we needed to build something, like we built stock cars, we built all kinds of stuff. And I guess it just became a natural kind of thing to, I don't know, problem solve and understand what the end goal is. But yeah, that transmission um, support, yeah, that was on the fly, kind of like, here we go. And that sort of thing I really love. I do. I want to emphasize how much that drives me. So when it comes down to it, like putting a fender on a car doesn't do much for me. Having to rebuild the fender, that has more interest to me. So if, like on the 68 Mustang on Jade, I rebuilt that front fender, the left front fender that was rusted off on the bottom. And I worked the piece into it and rebuilt it and put it back together. And it turned out really nice. And those are the kind of things that really pique my interest. I mean, I've said it before. I love a challenge, and jokingly, I've said if I had enough metal and time, I'd probably try to refloat the Titanic. Just saying. That's kind of how I do things. Robert, I like the idea of building it with what you have on hand as much as possible, then whatever you can find cheap if you don't have. Yeah. Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm at. I don't want to invest a lot of money in it and make a little hot rod racer out of it. I think and again, like I said, it would be kind of neat to angle it saying, hey, I'm going to take this on a power tour. I need to get this built, type of thing. But we'll see how that goes. It's not a priority. Terry says, Robert, I watched your video today. Camera lady did a good job. Oh, okay. I have to check that out. Robert says she offered to help. That's nice. Dave Tyson says, not for street. I'm not sure what we're referring to there. Oh, okay. I got to see if I can save this picture. So I have to I'm gonna bring up a picture here in just a second. So this is Steve was saying this is a car that doesn't need any work. So check this out. There you go. That's purty. That's a purty car you got, Steve. Got that hood, the hood scoop pops up, right? Does that say RT on it? He doesn't give me any other information, so that's a nice car. That's pretty cool. Doyle says photo sent. Let me see if I can find that. Yeah, it's not showing up either. We may not be able to see it today because I'm running out of time. Steve says coming from the Philippines, it's slow. Says on its way now. Okay. Oh, Dave Tyson boat motor. Yeah, yeah. I think you can run it on the street, but I don't know that I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't have much interest in it. It's like to me it's like you're taking something, I don't know. Like we've done stuff before. We've taken like a Jeep engine or say I put a Chevy engine in an Oldsmobile Buick, not a big deal. But something that's like a boat motor out of a Mercruiser, I get it. Somebody likes that stuff. I'm not into that. And I don't want to have to develop it, right? I don't want to have to learn, hey, what's up? Why won't it start? What do I do? Why does this distributor not fit? What's the timing on this? Just push it out of the way, sell it to somebody else, and let them have fun with it. I can put together a Chevy 350 almost with my eyes closed. So, Terry Keithley, Buckeyes fans on people from Ohio are always willing to help. Buckeyes fans are, I guess, people from Ohio who are willing to. That's awesome. Extra bell for that. TJ, I bought a 67 fastback deck lid. No holes were taped for the latch bracket. Check yours. Test fit, test fit, test fit. No holes. Oh, tapped, not taped. Tapped for the latch bracket. Yeah, I'll double check that. Something fingernails. Okay. Annette says, did the missus cook pizza for dinner tonight? No, not pizza. Actually, I think she reheated some, well, I'll say deer chili or venison chili. This makes a really good chili. Yeah. So that's what I'm going to be having here in a few minutes is some of that chili. Jerry says, oh, she's working way up to a cameo, talking to Terry. And Amir, working backwards from end product is an efficient, quicker, and better way to glance. Is how a man's brain works, I think. Well, I guess that's yes. I don't know. I mean, I guess that's the way I see things. But I've also had discussions with people who I ask for their ask for an opinion or their idea, and it's like they're on a train that stays on the tracks, and they can't see the end of the tunnel. Like if they're like, I'm going to stay on this train no matter what, and I'm like, let's step off the train and see what's going on from the other side, type of thing. That's kind of how I see it. I don't know, and it seems to work for me. It seems to work for me. So, but everybody's different. I get it. And here's the crazy part, at least in my opinion. Um, I've said this before in the streams, and I probably said it somewhere else. Like, um, I can't see things in like if I close my eyes and I try to envision something, it doesn't happen. I don't have that. It's a weird thing. Aphantasia, I think is what it's called. So like if you were trying to envision something in your head of how it would look or how it would end up, I can't do that. I don't have that. I don't have that ability. So like when I'm looking at something, I have to have my eyes open and see it, kind of visualize it as it's like coming together. I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing. Um, but I didn't even know this was a thing until somebody was talking about it. Like the idea that, let's just say you close your eyes and you can envision an apple in your mind. Like you could see an apple when you close your eyes. Like you want a red apple. I can't do that. I don't have any of that. I can't see. I close my eyes and it's black. There's nothing there. And it's probably why I don't like to read, because my wife has said when she reads a book, she'll read through the story or whatever, and like she's reading it. It's like watching a movie in her head. And I'm like, what? I read something and it's just words. It doesn't matter. I'm like, yep, this is just a story with words. I don't know. So anyway, it's just one of those things. Whenever I look at something, I don't know. I don't see it. I see it differently, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of weird. So anyway, um, Steve says Ram Air 446 pack 410 Dana, all original, 61,000 miles, original exhaust still. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Steve's Money Pit wife back from morning rounds, breakfast time. Okay, that's a good deal. Um, let me see here. I know Annette's asking about the look. I thought I had a picture of the Falcon, and it doesn't. It's hard to say patina on this sort of thing because I think it's got paint on it, but it's not like it's not like it's a nice paint job. So, um, I'll try to pull up a picture real quick so you can see what it looks like. Yeah, my stuff shows up instantly. That's pretty cool. So I'll show you a picture, and that's asking about the Falcon. Let me see if this will come up. Nope, I got too many pictures. Um, Whoop, wrong one. I'm getting there. I double clicked on Steve's picture. I don't need two of those. Okay, so here's a picture of what the Falcon looks like right now. And you can see the wheel wells are cut out. But it's going to stay like that. I'm not going to, I'll wash it maybe, but I'm not dressing this thing up. It's going to stay pretty much just like that. That's the plan. Biggest challenge right now is getting it here because there's no rear end under it. There's no suspension under the back. I'm going to have to get it on a trailer without any of that there. And I'll figure it out. Amir says, if you can't visualize and come up with the kinds of solutions you do, if you can't visualize and come up with the kinds of solutions you do, is much harder and really a gift. I would agree with that. It is weird. I can't. I don't know. I don't have any. I close my eyes and I try to imagine something. It doesn't exist. Doesn't happen. Like when I go to bed and close my eyes, I'm done. I'm good. It's time for bed. there's no extra junk going on in my head. Jeff is checking in. Hi everyone. Glad you're here, Jeff. I'm about to close up. About to be done. Robert says he likes the patina on that Falcon. Yeah, me too. I really do like the way it looks. The only thing I may end up doing, depending on how I feel about it, is putting some numbers on the side of it. May do that. So, Dave Tice says put it on boat trailer. Yeah, I could do that. Actually, I could, but I think we'll figure it out. We'll get it on. We'll get it here one way or another. But that's not a bad idea. So, okay. So I'm going to call it a night. I got to get in the house, get some food in me. So I do appreciate everybody being here. I do plan to be back next Monday night at 7:00, and we'll see if we have something new to talk about. Hopefully everything goes smooth. I get the Cobra Jet delivered, out of sight, out of mind, sort of thing. I'm excited about that. But that'll be it for tonight's show. So until next time, take care of yourselves. See ya.